In this episode of On Two Wheels, mud puddles, hamburgers, and excitement. These are the thrills and spills of Scramblers in the Rockies.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rockies and this edition of On Two Wheels.
You guys are probably thinking you've seen this video before, but we can pretty much promise you we're doing things a little bit differently. We've got Scramblers from Triumph and Ducati, and we thought because these brands have revived the Scrambler name, we would revive the Scrambler spirit and take what are essentially street bikes way off-road.
Yeah, so the Triumph and the Ducati both have Continental TKC 80s installed. The Ducati Scrambler also has a headlight guard and a bash guard, but essentially these are stock motorcycles. And as for us, we're keeping it really simple with engineer boots, armor jeans, leather jackets, and while we do have scenic communicators on our helmets so we can keep in touch, we're keeping it really retro.
Just doing it like our dads would have done if they had taken on the Rockies 40 years ago. The way we're going to measure ourselves is we've come to the 2015 Adventure Rally Rockies Edition, which is an organized event for the cream of the ADV crop, where we get a clue book, a map, and 2 days of time to hit all the waypoints we can.
And so the way it works is you're scored on the waypoints you hit. And they run everything from green circles to double black diamonds, which means smooth pavement all the way up to super technical trails at elevations as high as 13,000 feet.
Yeah, we're gonna be sucking wind just like these motorcycles are.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty bad idea, you're thinking. We thought the same thing, typical On Two Wheels spirit, so
wish us luck.
Day one starts with teams gathering to receive their clue books and maps. The target waypoints are spread out over a 2,500 square mile area of Colorado, and gathering points becomes more about routes and strategy than all-out speed.
With neither speed nor strategy on our side, we hit the road with our fingers crossed.
To receive credit, we had to snap a photo at each waypoint and post it to the rally's Instagram feed.
To avoid getting horribly lost, we had to stop and reference the map. A lot.
And boy, is it easy to get lost, because the rally's routes are designed to take you through some of the Rockies' most scenic and historic areas.
Okay, here at Alpine Tunnel Ruins, which is waypoint 3 of a potential 96. So
96 total, yep.
we should probably hit the road. But this is such an amazing place. I can't believe this was like a thoroughfare for our country at one point.
Yeah, it was. And at one point in 1905, 50 people got stranded here for 16 days. So I feel pretty fortunate we've got engines to carry us out of here. Hopefully we don't bust a bike and get stranded ourselves.
Yeah, all of a sudden Scramblers aren't looking so bad.
So this is what Justin meant by double black diamond. Whew. Oh, dude, I'm already out of breath. Double black diamond at 12,000 feet. Yeah, my bike. Honestly, this would probably be kind of tricky on a full-size adventure bike, but it is no picnic on these things. I mean, they have their limitations. The suspension bottoms out, and like we don't have a lot of ground clearance. But like they handle well, and you can put them in the line you need to. And just saying that put me out of breath. But like we've been saying, all things considered, man, pretty freaking good.
Woo! Oh man! Tamichi Pass, 11,979. I'm rounding that to 12,000 feet, man.
yeah, man.
Not bad for a couple of cafe bikes.
Yeah, there's a cafe.
Yeah.
Come to think of it,
Every pass in the Alps has a cafe at the top.
this is BS.
All right, that's another waypoint down. Now we're getting into some black diamond stuff. This one was worth 10 points. And our next stop is that saddle over there.
That road, we can see it. What do you think, little guy? That road? Yeah, I'm ready.
Skipping through rock gardens and splashing through streams, the bikes powered on.
Even if they needed a push every once in a while.
Man, the air is thin up here.
They even impressed some better equipped four-wheeled off-roaders by being way in the wilderness and being in one piece. At least for a little while.
Bug. Broke the hanger. That is going to be a pain to fix. Oh no. Yup. My bike got the ghost, huh? My bike just got lighter. Did you break the weld? Broke the hanger. Oh man.
Well, we tried strapping it to the seat. That lasted about half a mile. We tried strapping it to Zach's backpack, but the straps aren't long enough, so we're going to try strapping it to my backpack.
Good thing you haven't had any back problems lately, huh?
Oh, okay, I'm getting tired and hungry.
If you're wondering why we don't usually use Army surplus backpacks, like our dads did when they took on the Rockies 40 years ago, and we use stuff like Kriega, it's, you know.
Does my butt look fat? All right, well, This is the point at which adventure turns into
Survival.
survival. Let's get the heck out of the woods and get into town and get some lunch.
Unfortunately, food was a little farther away than we thought. But it's hard to complain when you're surrounded by the incredible beauty of Colorado. Seriously, if you've never visited the Rockies, it is absolutely breathtaking, and not just because of the elevation.
I was hungry enough to eat a marmot, but Zach's exhaust was scaring him all away. No matter, we forged on, summited another pass, and nailed another waypoint.
Despite lots of enthusiasm and surprisingly capable machines, there were still plenty of obstacles between us and base camp. A tip over or two for the Triumph, a loose muffler and trailside repairs for the Ducati, and multiple water crossings for both of us, some more graceful than others.
Yeah!
All in a day's work at the Adventure Rally, but we still faced the challenge of reattaching the Triumph's mufflers so we could take on day 2 and prove that the Scrambler spirit was indeed alive and well.
Okay, so we had some bad luck on the trail yesterday, but we got a big fat slice of good luck this morning.
Yeah, we got a hold of the guys at Sunsport Unlimited here in Gunnison, Colorado. Called them late last night. They opened their doors early for us today, and Dusty's in there right now welding the muffler back on our Triumph. I mean, these guys are our heroes.
Absolutely. So we're getting a late start, but at least it's a start.
Eager to make up some ground on our competition, we opted for an off-the-map shortcut.
I mean, this isn't on the official route they gave us, but map looks like it goes through. Please close the gate. Yeah. Legit off-road when it goes from truck trails to single track.
Brimming with confidence after conquering those double black diamond trails on day 1, we followed single track deep into the woods, knowing that a handful of waypoints and certain glory for Team Scrambler would be just over the ridge.
One, two, three. Whoa, shit! Yay!
I think this is the point at which we realize we might be on the wrong motorcycles.
Yes. Yep, we might have to admit that this is a little bit too gnarly, but we're not turning around.
We are not turning around.
Not in our nature.
I don't really know what to say about this. This is my predicament. I got you, man. I got you. Oh, shit! Come to think of it, being on the uphill side was probably a bad idea. Right now, there's people out there who are like true off-roaders on 302 strokes with 10 inches of suspension travel who are laughing at us and calling us idiots. And I might agree with them.
Well, we were pretty keen to find the limits of these bikes, and maybe more skilled riders can make up this trail, but we're gonna have to tuck tail.
Yep, I hate giving up, and I hate that we said that we wouldn't turn around, but there's some heinous thunder on the horizon, and I don't think that we can do it.
And we're supposed to be back at base camp in 2 hours, and we're 3 hours away, so.
Yep.
Sorry to disappoint viewers, but this is it.
It was disappointing to turn around, but the truth is, we can't fault the machines. We already knew that both of these bikes are terrific around town. Stylish, smooth, and fun to ride. But what is truly amazing is how a set of knobbies transformed them into totally credible adventure bikes.
Sure, steering lock and ground clearance is limited, and you can't take on obstacles as aggressively as you might with a taller machine. But the benefit of that limited ground clearance is a low center of gravity and a lower seat height.
Dial back your speed, pick your line carefully, and you can tackle almost any terrain that a full-size adventure bike would. In fact, the only real issue we had was the heavy stock exhaust falling off, and some lighter aftermarket mufflers would probably solve that with just a few $100.
As for which Scrambler is better, the truth is this was never meant to be a comparison, but we did learn some things. The pricier Triumph has more steering lock and better protection for its undercarriage, but it's a little bulky and the engine's pretty mellow. The Ducati is lighter and more powerful, but with a low-slung exhaust and no frame spars to shield the engine, those delicate Italian underbits are a lot more vulnerable. Bottom line, these two sub-$10,000 bikes totally impressed us. We may not have finished with many points in the competition, but we did raise some eyebrows and get some high fives. More importantly, these bikes turned out to be a stellar choice for any kind of adventure, rally or otherwise.